Good morning, teacher. I'm the apprentice Oscar Iván Acevedo from the Logistics Technology. We're gonna talk about how to compare Six Sigma, the lean and thinking, the lean thinking theory, and the theory of constraints. Okay, we're gonna see in the first time the Six Sigma theory. The Six Sigma theory talks about the reduction of variation and will solve process and business problems using a lot of statistical tools to understand the fluctuation process. And with this, management can be to predict the expected outcome of the process through a rigid structure of investigation methodology, the process completely understood. The Six Sigma application has uh, some guidelines that is DMAEC: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. You define when you talk about define, you need who the customers are, what are the problems, what are the key characteristics important to the customer, and identify the existing outputs and process to the elements. When you talk about measure, you talk about measuring the process, the key characteristics are categorized and the measurement systems are verified and the data are collected. When you analyze the data, convert that raw information into information. You need to make decisions, you need to make change, and improve. You need to do that improvement, you need to put that in in action. Solutions are development. You need to make some change in the processes, maybe in the people, and the results of the change. You need to measure that results that can be only make the change, but you need to measure and make sure that that change affect your business and the control. If you do the process, if you make the change, you have to control all that of the cycle, all that process, all that change you made in your business. The focus is clearly in the Six Sigma theory is the causes of the problem. That's the main focus, and you have to planning actions to mitigate that problems or eliminate the problem. In the case, if you did a good search for the causes of the problem, obviously the problem is gonna solve. Six Sigma focuses on reduction variations and improve process capabilities. And Six Sigma strategy focus on the problem, not in the results. It focus on the problem, what is gonna is doing the business wrong, and what you have to do to improve that. The next theory is the lean thinking theory. The next strategy is the lean thinking. When you talk about lean thinking, you specify value from the standpoint of the customer, making the next question: do the customers want to obtain goods and services, and or they want to solve these problems? You have to identify the value stream for for each product and remove wasted activities. I think this is one of the main things in the lean thinking is remove the waste activities, remove the waste, the things that doesn't belong to the process, doesn't help a lot. You have to remove it, make the value flow toward the customer as quickly as possible. Uh, Only output the or output pull of the customer, and while striving continually for perfection, and perfect value with zero waste. That's the theory. Lean thinking guidelines. You have five guidelines. The first is the value. Make sure that our process makes a difference to the client. The second is value stream. Line up the value, creating steps of the process in the best way. The third is the flow. Conduct all value steps without interruption. The fourth is fall. Ensure all our process steps are driven by client demand. And five is perfection. Continually improve our process. That's the process, the guidelines in the lean thinking strategy. And the focus. The focus, obviously, like I said before, is the volume stream, is a primary workout unit. The lean thinking focuses on the flow of the process, on the flow, the different steps between the process, focuses on improving process performance, obviously, and clear view of a state, of end state, the final state, the end state. The theory of constraints limits throughput in operations. Constraint is a barrier. It's a thing that doesn't allow the process flow in a good way. And there are three basic types of constraints. The physical, that are tangible, easy to recognize as a constraint, machine capacity, material ability, availability, space availability, market, the demand of the companies, products and services, less than the capacity of organization, or not in desired portion. And policies, not physical nature, includes its entire system of measures and methods, and even mindset that governs the strategical and tactical decisions of the company. The theory of constraints have five guidelines. The first is identify the constraints in the system. What is a barrier? What is making our process don't flow in a good way? The second is decide how to exploit the system constraint. The third is subordinate everything else about decisions. The fourth is elevate the system's constraint. And in the five step is repeat the cycle. Go back to the step one and do it again. The theory of constraints focus in the system constraints. That the focus, the main focus, and the current process are essential to produce the desired output. You need to eliminate the constraint, take out, and obviously you're gonna have that desired output you need. And this constraint, this focus, not require intimate knowledge of data analysis. You only need to know what is the constraint that doesn't allow that your process flow in a good way. The similarities and difference. Obviously, the similarities are, are little, but you can say that all these strategies uh, want to give a good way of flow, a good way of processes to our business. They try to our business has a good way to do our things. That the main similarity, I think. Obviously, they focus it in different things. The Six Sigma theory focuses only in the problem. The lean thinking focuses in the flow, and the TOC, or theory on constraints, focuses in the constraint. Um, the assumptions those three theories, you assume that a problem exists and you need to remove that problem, obviously from different focuses, but it is a similarity. Also a similarity is that all three theories, all three strategies have 5 steps. Are different, but I think all the steps are cyclical. All the steps are a cycle in all 3 theories, and are 5 steps for each strategy. Uh, Another difference is that the Six Sigma want to reduce the variation in the process, in the flow. The Lean thinking want to remove the waste, and the theory in constraint of constraints want to manage that constraints. That the main that's a difference between the theories. Um, the primary effect in every theory is different too, because in Six Sigma theory you want to uniform the process output, the thing that the business do. In Lean thinking, you need to reduce reduce the flow time. You need to make a cut in the time you are making the things. And in the theory of constraints, you need to a fast throughput or limit that barriers that making a waste of time in your process. And the obstacles to improvement that is strategic in your business. You need to address management theory as secondary or tertiary issue. Okay, maybe that's a thing, then that's it put in the first place, and it is obviously an obstacle. You don't address policies, either formal or informal. Many people take this like the last point. It's a tertiary thing, maybe a secondary thing. Is not the first thing you need to put you put in your business. Another obstacle is you don't address how managers are measured and rewarded for process improvement. You need to reward your people. You need to reward your managers. If you reward your managers, I think they're gonna feel happy. They're gonna be with a lot of energy to do the things. But if you don't measure them, if you don't reward them, they gonna don't have that they're gonna don't have that energy to do the things. Then other is the general theory of management used by the organization. In many organization, you don't follow that theory of management the organization use. You don't follow, don't address the general theory, and that's a fail. And you don't address the organization values. In many organizations, you have the values, but don't address in a good way. Don't apply that values in a good way. That's all my presentation. I hope you understand all the steps, all the theories, all the focuses, and the difference between them. Thank you.